There is nothing so cruel in this world as false hope. Ah, Gaia. A young lady covered her head with the pillow, crying in frustration while an elderly maid was trying to comfort her. Your Highness, please don't cry, the maid consoled. The young blonde lady perked up her head. Large tears dripped down her face. She complained unhappily, I was so hopeful for so long, and in the end, he just married Lily. I thought they didn't even get along. She collapsed down on the bed and covered her head with the pillow and continued to cry her heart out. Today, 5 years of unrequited love came to an end, all because he got married to her. She can still remember the moment she first saw him. At a social gathering banquet, another lady asked her, Princess, did you hear that Margrave's heir is supposed to show up today? She replied, no, she didn't. But now that it was mentioned. Suddenly, she heard shoes clattering into the banquet hall. Entered was a dazzling young man, and her heart was instinctively struck with love. At the palace, the princess rushed to her father's study and declared, Father, I want to marry the Margrave's heir. I'm completely and utterly in love. You'll agree, right? Her father asked, Estella. Don't tell me you're talking about Isaac? She answered excitedly, Of course I am. Who else could it possibly be? Her father replied, My dear Estella, I'm sorry, but I cannot approve. She hovered over her father and demanded unhappily, Why? He's already engaged to the Grand Duke's eldest daughter, explained her father. She felt like she was suddenly slammed by a truck and slumped down on the chair, worrying her father. Isaac is engaged? She muttered soullessly. Concerned, her father ordered the guard to get a doctor. Just as Estella began to wilt like a dying flower, she received some unexpected news. Lying on the bed like a depressed person, her father came to her with good news. She asked, What is it? He replied, Isaac's wedding has been postponed. Estella's eyes brightened with life. Really? Why? A flashback of what happened previously in her father's study, he made a request. As you're aware, Estella is currently ill in bed. I have a rather embarrassing favor to ask of you. What is it? Ask Isaac's father. Her father asked, Estella loves Isaac very much. I wouldn't ask anything so shameful as to call off his engagement, but would it be possible to postpone their marriage for a few years? Don't worry. The wedding wasn't supposed to take place until after his coming of age anyway, answered Isaac's father. Estella's father turned away and made up an answer. Who knows? Maybe they're having relationship troubles. She sat right up and asked, Do you think they might end up breaking up? Perhaps, he replied. And just like that, her false hope began. She prayed in front of the holy water, anxiously waited for him after he left for the battlefield. But upon his return, she stood watching him marry Lily. So this is how things came to an end. As Isaac and Lily kissed their vows, everyone congratulated them and praised what a beautiful couple. She could only sob and ran away to hide her broken heart. Sitting alone next to a pond, she looked at her reflection and muttered, The wedding is almost over. She doesn't even know what to say to him. In her theatrical mind, she imagined herself congratulating Isaac with a happy smile. But how can she possibly bring herself to say that? Ugh, I don't want to, Estella complained. She had enough self-talk and needed to get going. Just when she stood up fully, about to leave, she heard a voice. Estella, turn back time. What? She looked around. Is someone there? Am I so stressed that I'm hearing things now? She saw a ripple in the pond and wondered what it was while approaching closer to the edge of the water. There's something in the water. She saw a white silhouette. Not a person? She guessed, but her heel slipped and she plunged into the water. She sank down and thought, I'm dying at the wedding of the man I'm in love with. What a way to go. Estella bolted up from the bed, looking at her hands. She thought, I'm alive? The elder maid held on to her hand and cried of happy tears. My princess. Nana. Wait, why does she look so old? It's like she aged 10 years at the least. The maid held her hand and asked, Do you have any idea how much you scared your Nana? Goodness. I cannot believe you would jump into a pond. Confused. What? I wasn't trying to kill myself. But Nana, where am I? Is this a room in the palace? Nana replied, Pardon? What are you saying? We're in. The door slammed open abruptly, and 2 children appeared at the door. They both shouted Mama, with tears in their eyes, full of concerns. The boy reached up to her and called, Mama? The girl climbed onto her and asked, Mama, you don't hurt anymore, do you? Confused, she asked, What are you kids talking about? Why are you calling me Mama? Huh? Mama? The boy wiped his tears. Wait, they looked familiar. A voice ridiculed, So now you don't even want to see my children? She turned to look at the source of the voice by the door and was dumbfounded. Isaac? Flustered, she asked, Why are you here? Wait, no, where am I? Her statement shocked the maid and confused Isaac. The children ran up to Isaac and called out, Papa. Isaac lifted up the girl and asked, Why is she being like that? She's acting like she had never seen them before. She asked why he is treating her like she is his wife. What about Lily? Estella remembered clearly she watched them get married. So why is he talking to her like she's the one he married? And whose kids are they? Why are they treating him like their father? Staring at Estella for a brief moment, Isaac stated, He is going to get the doctor again. Estella is acting too strange. She must have hit her head somehow when she fell into the pond. She answered, Yeah, the pond. I fell into the pond. At your wedding. Where is Lily? Is she in on this? It's a joke, right? This isn't funny. Isaac told Nana to get a doctor quickly. He held one child in each arm. The girl asked, Papa, did Mama hurt her head? He answered, Yes, she did. Estella thought, just a second. Oh my God. The children's faces and their blonde hair. They look undeniably like they could be our children. But I have no memory of any wild nights with Isaac. She noticed a small mirror next to her beside and saw herself in the mirror. Some of her baby fat cheeks are gone. The corner of her eyes are higher too. That is her. She quickly asked, What year is it? Isaac answered, It's 650. Astonished, There is no way. This cannot be possible. 650? She was 100% sure it was May 17th, 643. 'Cause it was the perfect image of all the fantasies she ever had about being a May bride. 7 years, she jumped 7 whole years into the future. My God, this cannot be happening. Estella went through a plethora of theatrical dilemmas while her children and husband observed her, cluelessly as she had gone insane. After the doctor examined her, he diagnosed her condition as amnesia, considering that she remembers everything from before she was 19, but cannot remember a single thing that happened afterward. It is likely partial amnesia. Estella thought, Is it really possible for 7 years of memories to just disappear like that? Isaac sighed. The doctor explained she must have received a shock when she fell into the pond. Even though there are no other injuries, she may experience occasional headaches and her memories may come back in pieces. But she must be very confused, so for the time being, the doctor prescribed a tranquilizer. Isaac asked, What if her memories never come back? Well, even if they don't come back, it won't get in the way of her daily living. It might take a few years, but do not worry too much. The doctor instructed Estella to not force her memories to come back. Just take it easy. With that, the doctor excused himself and left. Estella looked at Isaac and the 2 children and asked if the children are theirs. Isaac answered, That's right. They are twins. So then she is at his mansion? The Margrave's mansion? Then that means they are married? Isaac replied with the, Are you dumb? Kind of expression. Obviously. Estella covered her mouth, blushed, and couldn't believe that she grew up, married this criminally handsome man, And even had twins with him? Way to go, the future me. Wow. Isaac scowled. Well? She explained happily. It's just that this is all unexpected. To think I would end up married to you. It's like I won the lottery. Never mind. Ahaha. Isaac clenched his fist and asked, did she actually lose her memories? The little boy tugged his hand. Papa. Isaac shouted at Estella, are you sure you're not just putting up on an act? To mess with me? Estella questioned, what is he talking about? He glared hatefully at her. You're good at manipulating people like this. You really don't remember how coldly you treated me just yesterday? And now you say you won the lottery by marrying me? His expression startled Estella. Was Isaac always like this? There's something about the look in his eyes right now. It feels like he resents me. She could only say that he heard what the doctor said. So why would he think she is messing with him? She felt like he was angry at her. They need to try to understand each other. She asked, I treated you that coldly? But even now, just looking at you, my heart pounds like crazy, while her mind thought, who would be upset to blink and find out they married their first love? Unable to do anything, he sighed. You and I are in the middle of a divorce. This news shocked her. What? Wait just a minute. Divorce? Why would we be getting a divorce? Is this another joke? Seeing their parents arguing, the children started crying and hugging Isaac. Isaac hugged the children and suggested they take a break. He doesn't know why she fell into the pond, but as soon as the divorce proceedings are done, the kids and him will disappear. So don't be too angry. Before leaving with the children, he told her, the pond isn't deep enough to even reach her thighs, and at the bottom of the pond, there's nothing but soft sand. This is bad. She cannot remember anything, no matter how much she racked her brain. She cannot remember anything after Isaac and Lily's wedding, and her memories from 7 years ago are so vivid. Rather than amnesia, it seems more plausible that the 19 years old her jumped into the future. Wait, so what happened to Lily's wedding then? There are so many things she wanted to ask Isaac, but it's obvious he doesn't want to talk to her. How can she possibly ask him anything when he looked at her like that? She seriously cannot believe any of it. It's nothing like the marriage she dreamed of having. And they're even in the middle of a divorce. Estella complained, I could have at least remembered how the twins were born. Gosh, Estella went through the series of events with Nana. So, first, I lost consciousness somehow? Nana elaborated. You jumped into the pond, Your Highness. One of your servants saw and ran in after you, but you'd already lost consciousness. Estella pondered. It's odd, she fell in, but the details of what happened are totally different. She definitely heard some kind of voice. Estella, turn back time. Estella abruptly stood up, with determination to gather more information. Nana reached after her. Your Highness? You'll get hurt if you make such sudden movements. She told Nana she needed to go take a look at the pond. Nana suggested her to at least wear a shawl. Dipping her bare legs into the pond to test it. Goodness, Your Highness. Why are you doing this? Come out at once. Nana shouted, lifting her skirt and moving her feet in the pond. She mumbled, Isaac was right. It really comes up to thigh high. After checking out the pond, she stepped out of the water. Nana covered her up with the shawl. Just what did you have to check so urgently? She asked. Estella said she don't know what she was trying to figure out either. Based on everything she has seen so far, there is only one conclusion remaining. But if she were to say it out loud, no one would believe her. So in that case, Estella asked Nana, where is Isaac? I need to talk to him straight away. I supposed His Grace is in the glass house along with the children, replied Nana. The glass house? Then let's go. Nana took the lead as she lost her memories. On the way to the glass house, Estella has to ask Nana some questions to reconfirm things. She reiterated that as mentioned, she lost her memories after age 19. Nana assured, yes, that's right. Please don't worry too much. I'm certain they'll return to you before you know it. Uncertain, but she asked anyway. There is something more important. Nana, are those twins really mine? I gave birth to them? I'm really married to Isaac? Yes, of course, replied Nana. She moved closer to Nana and grabbed Nana's shoulders. Then why are we in the middle of a divorce? Nana looked anxious and turned her head away from Estella. Your Highness, I have no right to get involved in the affairs of a married couple. If you want to know the answer, perhaps you should try asking His Grace directly? She questioned. Asked him myself? Nana, didn't you see the way he looked at me? He looked ready to kill me himself. I'm not an idiot. How could I ask him anything with him looking at me like that? Can't you just give me a hint? Please? Nana remained silent, and after contemplating, she replied, Your Highness, this is something that might be solved if you start by talking to His Grace. Estella asked, You can't help me at all? I can't, replied Nana. A servant knocked on the door and announced that Her Highness would like to speak to His Grace. Come in, Isaac answered. Before entering, Nana encouraged Estella, Please do your best to have a calm conversation, Your Highness. Estella asked if Nana thought that's really possible. In the greenhouse, Isaac was playing with the twins. The twins smiled happily while interacting with their father. The scene was peaceful. Isaac turned to her and said she must be feeling confused. Why is she not resting? Estella replied, It's exactly because she's confused that she cannot rest right now. He commented, Stressing about things isn't going to make your memories return any faster. She said, But even if they don't come back, I need to know the things I've forgotten. I just want to take a look at the pond. It's definitely shallow. Has it always been this shallow? Like, even 10 years ago? Isaac touched his son's head and answered, Yes, it has. The twins were whispering among them too. The boy whispered, Mama came to the glass house. The girl whispered back, Let's make her some tea. Estella said she has something else to ask. Isaac, weren't you originally supposed to be married to my cousin, Lily Bertrand? The last thing I remember is you two getting married. With a sour expression he questioned, That's the last thing you remember? Yes. Huh. Isaac sighed. Estella panicked. What's with the response? Did I touch a nerve? Isaac, I don't think you'll believe me, but I'll say this anyway, because you're my husband and the closest person to me right now. What is it? He asked. She stated coherently. I think I time-traveled into the future. He has no response with a blank stare. She repeated, You heard me. I traveled here from 7 years ago. No response, with a blank stare. Estella covered her face. It may sound crazy, but no matter how much she thinks about it, she just can't shake the feeling that this isn't amnesia. She fell into the pond that doesn't have any rocks. How could she possibly have gotten hurt? She begged desperately, Can you at least believe that I also fell into the same pond at your wedding to Lily? And I'm absolutely certain I heard a voice telling me to turn back time then. A voice that called my name specifically. She screamed to herself, Will he really still not believe me even when I'm being this honest? If there's even a hint of trust. Isaac looked away, distraught. You're pushing yourself too much. Are any attendants outside? Estella cried. Ah, seriously. Why won't you believe me? Is there so little trust here? Have a little faith in your wife. Seriously. I'm being serious. Suddenly the girl tugged her shawl. Mama, this is for you. Holding a cup, she showed her mama how to drink it. You want me to drink it? Estella asked. Yeah. The daughter beamed happily. Estelle accepted the cup, looking at the brown-looking thing in the cup. This. Yeah. Drink it. I made it. Encouraged the little girl. She does what her daughter showed her. Sip the cup. You want me to keep drinking? She asked. Yeah, replied her daughter with eyes that sparkled brightly. Estella commented she needs more sugar. Why don't her daughter bring more sugar for her? Her daughter grabbed her twin brother's hand and walked away to get more sugar. Finally, it was peaceful and quiet. Isaac told her to sit down first. On the ground? She asked. Even in the palace, I've never once sat on the floor. There's a cushion. He took off his shirt and laid it on top of the cushion. Does this help? Sitting on the ground, side by side, Isaac confirmed. You were saying you traveled through time from the past to now. Huh? Oh. Yes. Isaac concluded. So even though you're 26 years old, on the inside, you're 19? Yeah. And you didn't lose your memories? He questioned. Exactly. I heard someone calling to me on the day of you and Lily's wedding. They said, turn back time. She clutched her dress, thinking of the event. I felt strange, so I tried to look into the water, but I suddenly got dizzy and fell in. and sank deep, deep down. And then I opened my eyes and oh my God. 7 years passed. And that's what happened. Estella asked, why is Isaac looking at her like that? Is he going to tell her that she sounds crazy again? Isaac stated, no. Now that he thought about it, the way she acted and spoke is very different from before. Just like when she was 19. Looking like he's in deep thought. Either you're extremely good at acting, or it really is believable that you traveled through time. Estella replied, yeah, because I'm not acting. Are you this distrusting of everyone? No, it's thanks to a certain someone that I'm like this now. The twins finally came back at this time. The girl, carrying a plate, said happily, Mama, look, try this. Papa, you too. This is delicious. It's a macaroni. Estella looked nervous. The girl begged, please, Mama. Unable to refuse, she reached for the macaroni and chomped on it. It's delicious. So delicious that I want you to go make me some more. The twin boy cheered, it's delicious. She answered, yes it is, but the dirt macaroni is now on the ground next to her foot. Of course, the children doesn't notice. The children went back to make more food, distance away. Estella stated, they're very cheerful. Maybe they take after me. Isaac replied, they're more excited than usual because she came there today. What? He stated, she usually doesn't go to the glass house. She looked at him, and he reconfirmed. She doesn't. The girl then brought more food for her papa this time. Isaac took the cup and pretended to drink. Wow, you made it this quickly? This smells good. The boy tugged on Estella's shawl. She turned to look at him. He spread out his arm, wanting her to hold him. She reached her hands down. It should be clear, they're her kids, but she flinched back, rejecting the boy. Isaac called, Lou, don't push your mother too hard, okay? Lou ran to his father and replied, okay. Estella guessed, she really cannot remember anything. It's hard not to feel like that, since it's her first time meeting them. The twins and Isaac stared at her, which made her feel like she's a total stranger. Estella scratched her cheeks and asked for the twins' name. Isaac replied, Lustel and Lucia de Meshin. Aesthetic, she asked. They took my last name? Although your last name would have sounded good too. Isaac gave her an emotionless glare, which caused Estella to get flustered. Did I say something wrong again? I feel like I'm walking on eggshells? She asked, Who? Who chose the names? I did. Isaac replied. Estella pinched her son's cheek and complimented, You did a good job. Isaac pulled the boy away. Wow. Oh, he's so cute. I did it without thinking. Isaac, I'm not lying. I really do think this. It's not amnesia. I came from the past. The way you've acted towards me, the way the kids treat me, it's all proof that the future me made some kind of mistake, right? I think that I came from the past to understand the mistakes I made. Because the 19 years old me really loves you. So can't we just do away with this divorce business? Isaac sighed. He stated, the divorce was her idea. What? He explained, she was the one who asked to get a divorce. What, why? She asked. He has no way of knowing that either. She said she would leave custody of the children to him. It's possible she even thought her family was a burden. Isaac said firmly to her, You think you came from the past to fix your mistakes? Frankly speaking, I don't think so. Even if you say you love me, you, from the future, were planning on leaving. And this cannot erase the way he was already hurt. Honestly, he is tired. He walked away, holding hands with the children in each hand. The twins choked and called, Papa, are you crying? His boy asked. Papa, slow down. Unable to keep up, he tripped on his foot and fell. Isaac picked up his boy and apologized for walking too fast and checked to see if Lou was bleeding anywhere. Lou hugged Isaac and cried, while Lucy asked, Papa, are you crying? Why are you crying? Isaac asked his daughter. He is not crying. Why does she think so? 'Cause here you looked squinty. She replied, pointing her finger to her brows. Was I making a scary face like that? Yeah. Isaac apologized and said he won't do that anymore. This made the girl happy and cheered up. It was just yesterday that you barely even treated me like I existed. Even though somehow we ended up married and have children, but you and I were nothing more than a marriage to show off. The father and children looked at her portrait along the corridor. Luke and Lucy feel awkward around their own mother, and the few times you did play with them, they were overjoyed. Isaac carried his children on each side of his shoulder and walked away as his thoughts continued. Estella was always busy, so he didn't understand. But he doubts she had any interest in family in the first place. The joy of marriage was quickly erased by the discord between them, and in the end, Estella was the first to give up. Even just a week ago, in Estella's workroom, Estella told Isaac she cannot live with him anymore. She is going abroad. He takes the kids and everything else. She'll make sure he has enough money. She already secured a place to live and prepared everything she needed to disappear. He asked her to clarify. She stated she wanted a divorce. He clenched his fist and asked, "Is there another man?" She didn't even give him an answer. That's the kind of person she was. She said she cannot remember anything, that she came from the past and she thinks it's to fix her mistakes. And now she said something as ridiculous as she loves him. Isaac remembered how coldly she treated him. You wanted to fix your mistakes? Then you should have come and faced me yourself. But no, you're someone who thinks it's a mistake that we ever met in the first place. After all, how many years of my life did I spend hanging on to a single thread of hope? I can't let go of the Estella I knew, the glimpses I still see of her. She hurt me over and over again. I can no longer uphold the things I said when I proposed to you at 19. They're just old words that have faded with time. At their wedding, she asked, "Isaac, do you promise to always trust me? Always wait for me?" "I hope you do, because I love you so much." They got married and were happy for a year. They spent those days peacefully, and it wasn't long before they found out Estella was pregnant. But their happiness soon came to an end. He had forgotten that all secrets eventually come to light. In this kingdom, with no place of respite for him, she had been his safe haven. And yet, she had been keeping something from him, a secret tantamount to betrayal. His parents were falsely accused of conspiring to commit treason, and his younger sister was exiled from the country. And the person behind it all was Estella. Despite knowing the accusations were false, she had the investigation into his parents closed and sent his sister away herself. Estella, the sweet, lovely girl he vowed marriage to. "Papa." Lou patted Isaac's head and brought him back from his deep thoughts. He smiled and said, "That hurts, Lou. I'll get mad, you know." The children laughed. Lou said, "You're back to the normal papa." He asked if the two babies are ready for bed. They both replied loudly, "Yeah." Tucking the children to bed, Lou stated he still wants to play more. Isaac replied, "They can play after they sleep." The sleep fairy told him she wants to come visit them. Before falling asleep, Lou said, "It was nice playing with Mama." He asked, "You had fun with your mom?" Lucy answered cheerfully, "Yeah. Mama liked the macarons." "Lou, let's make her more." "Okay," replied Lou. Isaac chided, "Sure. You can make more after you wake up. You're going to make your mom very full." After agreeing to make more food for their mama, the kids started to get tired and dozed off to sleep. Isaac got up and walked out of their bedroom. Just as he closed the door shut, "I cannot get a divorce." "I won't," Estella stated loudly from behind Isaac. "How could I hump them?" Isaac instinctively covered her mouth. "You're going to wake the kids." "Sorry, I didn't realize they were sleeping." "But I cannot get a divorce." "What?" he questioned. "Can I just fix all the mistakes I made?" she asked. He sighed as he palmed his face. "These aren't mistakes that you can just fix like that. The problem isn't you, it's me. I'm tired already. Then cannot I do something to make you less tired? I'll make you so happy that you completely forget all the pain you suffered, okay?" Isaac felt like he's talking to a wall. She really is the immature 19 years older. "All right, I'll believe that you traveled from the past to the future. But I told you, I've already made up my mind. Just give me a chance," she pleaded. She stated she has been in love with him for 5 years. And then to tell her that she hurted him, but she has no memory of it. But that hasn't changed the fact that the her, right now, still loves him. So what is she supposed to do? There's no other choice but to do her best to hold on to him. She begged, "Just give me one chance. Just while the divorce is being processed." Isaac answered, What an interesting turn of events. Just yesterday, you looked at me with eyes full of disdain. And now, you're looking at me, asking me to give you a chance. Isaac stepped back and smirked. All right, I'll give you a chance. And in the meantime, I hope that I can hurt you as much as you've hurt me. With that, he walked past her and walked away. Estella trembled and mumbled, well, at least I got him to give me a chance. All she has to do is right all the wrongs the future her committed. She can do that much. After all, this story's happy ending is already in the bag. She fisted full of fighting spirit. 2 weeks later, wow. How can someone be this cold? Stubborn as a mule. I feel like I'm telling a wall I love it. Estella complained. Nana stated that she cannot buy someone's love with material goods. What? Then what am I supposed to do? Estella asked. He doesn't look like he has any plan on talking to her. If she doesn't at least show him her sincerity, what is she supposed to do? Humans cannot possibly be that venomous. But Isaac would spit on her face. Actually, spit is an understatement. It's more like he's hacking up a loogie on her. Nana commented for her to mind her language. It's as though she returned to age 19. Her memories are gone, so she needs to do her best to act like normal. She asked Nana what is she like then? Nana said she was always neat, put together. She was level-headed and refined. She never speaks of things like spit or loogies. Estella questioned, I was that grown-up? Nana nagged her, you were not only the princess, but mother to 2 children. You never would be caught lounging on a sofa like this, nor using such crude words. Surely, you know these are not acceptable. Estella questioned, is that what she was always like? Nana answered, as she got older, she became more mature in personality as well. She stated, sounds like she was pretty cold and prudish. That's not like her at all. Your mindset changed quite a bit after you got married. How so? Estella asked while sipping her tea. Nana thought about it and stated, you changed quite a bit overall. I was happy because I believed you finally grew up. Nana, it seems like I did many cruel things to Isaac. Is that part of the reason I changed? Nana declined to comment on that topic. Please do not ask me about your marital affairs. It's not my place to interfere. What? Nana stated, all she can do is watch over Estella. Estella asked, since Nana has been watching her, she wanted to know how she treated Isaac in the past if she wanted to reflect on what she did or put an end to it. Nana thought for a moment and said, my princess, there were many mistakes. You did many cruel things. Estella asked for examples. It's hard for me to say. Estella stated, I have to hear it if I want to change things. Nana felt nervous but said it anyways. You would go to your room and stay there for very long periods of time. You sent away all your servants and wouldn't let even his grace enter. Of course, no one saw for themselves, but all the evidence pointed towards an affair. You brought a different man to the manor every day. Estella looked struck. Is this what it feels like to know you've hit rock bottom? She clutched her face. That's what I was like? She pulled her hairs. My God, I didn't think it was possible for me to stoop so low. Nana suggested, rather than upbraiding yourself, think about how to be serious about moving forward. Estella cried ugly to Nana. What? I've been serious this whole time. Nana cajoled, you gave the present strategy, but you've yet to grasp your husband's feeling. You have to show his grace your sincerity, whether that be with your words or with a letter. She cried, will Isaac listen? She was so unfaithful to him. Nana stated, that's the only pastor would know. Then let's catch all those guys and make them tell the truth. Nana asked, and if they say you did have an affair with them? Estella answered, then I really am the worst of the worst. What happened to her from a few days ago? She was full of fighting spirit. She thought it would be a piece of cake. But if it's true that she cheated on Isaac with all those guys, I deserve to die. Estella lounged down to the couch and cried. At this rate, I can kiss any hope of making it up to him goodbye. But if it's true that I did all these terrible things, then it really is the right thing to let him go. Wah, wah. Nana consoled. If she considers the fact that they are still living together, it doesn't seem as though he has no feelings for her. He waited all this time for her. Don't blame herself too much. All she needs to do is make things up to him. Does she think all married couples live in perfect peace and harmony? They all have their own problems. Estella commented, But I doubt any of them threw down a divorce paper and said, "I cannot do this anymore," and acted like a stubborn ass. Nana sighed. "Stubborn ass, Your Highness, please have some dignity." Estella stated, "That's not important right now. I'm the one who asked for the divorce. He's had enough of me. If you were in my shoes, you wouldn't care about your dignity right now either." She grasped Nana's hands and asked, "Be honest. Let's say your scumbag husband asks you for a divorce, but just a few days later, he changes his mind and asks to call off the divorce. What would you do?" Nana tore off Estella's theatrical image in half and nagged, "Heavens, I'd rip his loins in two. He would never be with another woman again." Estella could only look at Nana with complex expression as she is the actual scumbag. Oops. Nana actually realized the scumbag is in front of her. "I believe I hear Master Lu crying. Just a moment, young master. Your Nana is coming." Estella grabbed Nana's dress and said she did not hear any crying. Still, Nana escaped and excused herself. Before opening the door, Nana asked if she would like to meet Count Chess and his wife. "Are you changing the subject?" asked Estella. "Nana is halfway out the door," replied. The Chesses called off the divorce and had a miraculous reconciliation. "Oh, really? But is Count Chess as awful as I am?" Estella wondered. Nana raised a thumb up, "Of course. He's the worst of the worst." Estella choked. Is this supposed to cheer me up?" Nana suggested, "Why don't they start sharing a bed again?" "Sharing a bed?" "Yeah, because you started leaving your room again. All you have to do is sleep there." Estella asked, "Sharing a bed? All right, I'll give it a shot. Try getting close to him physically first, huh? I doubt his grace would lay a finger on you." Ahem. Goodness, Nana. Who says anything about that sort of thing? It's just, if you share a bed with someone, you'll be forced to see their face. So conversation should come about naturally too. Let's try. Get my stuff moved in today. Nana asked if she should discuss it with Isaac first. Estella declined. What's there to discuss? He'll definitely tell her no. But Estella went to ask Isaac anyway. As obvious, he rejected her with no hesitation. She asked why? "Leaving the room was your choice, but it's up to me whether or not I want to let you in again. You left the room without a word. Now you think you can come back without a word too?" Estella turned away and stuttered, "But no matter what I talked to you about, it never went anywhere." Isaac stated, "Sharing a bed is on another level. What happened to giving me a chance?" She asked, "So I'm supposed to do whatever you tell me to then?" He questioned. She fidgeted while reasoned. She didn't say that. She just wants to try living like any other married couple would. Isaac stared at her, contemplating. "All right, let's do it." Shocked, Estella's inner voice spoke, just like that. What is he thinking? "I don't get it, but I'm grateful, I guess." She exclaimed, "Excellent. Then I'll go get my things right now." Isaac replied like he doesn't care. "Yes, do that." The maids were whispering amongst themselves. They're sharing a room again? For the first time in 3 years. Then does this mean they're back together? It doesn't look like it. After all her stuff was moved in, she saw she had more stuff than she realized. She saw a box full of jewelry, but isn't this like a lot? What do I need this many rings for? This is so unnecessarily extravagant. Isaac crossed his arms and stated nonchalantly, "Don't me. Keep remembering." "Huh? Remembering what?" Isaac replied, "Those rings, they're all gifts from your lovers." Estella trembled, nervously. What? Images appeared in her mind. She was surrounded by men, they bowed and kneeled in front of her, each holding a box with a ring on it. Isaac said she did love rings in particular. With a frozen expression that somewhat had turned blue, she let out a nervous laugh. Ha. I don't care about dumb things like rings anymore." She closed the box and stated she will get rid of those, while her mind scolded. Why did I have to open this jewelry box? I just made things more awkward again. Isaac shifted her down on the bed and he hovered on top of her. She blushed and asked, "What is he doing?" "You said you wanted to do things normal married couples do." "I did," she answered. "So this is only natural," he replied as he loosened his collars. She blushed and covered her face, leaving gaps on her eyes to see. No, I cannot do this. Isaac said he is the one taking clothes off. She screamed, cover yourself up already. Isaac smirked and told her to keep looking. Estella sat up and said she cannot do this. He said he hasn't laid a hand on her. Estella covered herself with a blanket and stated, I'm only 19. He told her she married him when she was still 19, and they spent their first night together. But, we cannot right now. I'm not ready. She pushed him away. Isaac wondered and asked if a stork came and dropped the twins off. Flustered, she said, the memory of him and Lily getting married is still fresh in her mind. In her memory, they haven't even held hands yet. There's a certain order to these things. Then why did you want to start sharing a bed again? Estella answered, I just wanted to literally sleep together. Then you should have said so. Isaac stated, I did. I said I wanted to talk. She reiterated, I thought you meant you wanted to talk with our bodies, replied Isaac. She gripped the blanket around her tighter and thought, this guy. Seriously. She scolded, do you just enjoy seeing me embarrassed? Yes, I do. He answered amusingly. You used to treat me so coldly. It's fun to see how flustered you get just looking at me now. And, considering how you used to cut me down every time I tried to talk to you, it's refreshing to see you try to start a conversation first. Flustered, she asked if he knew how childish he is right now. Isaac chuckled and said he does, but he's having fun. He hopes they can have more fun together. Estella leaned in and asked, does that mean you'll put off the divorce for now? If you're satisfied with just being okay at the most surface level. He replied, disappointed, although her disappointment did not last long. It is still better than nothing. She was quickly overcome with fighting spirit. The surface level is the most important, because you never know when your feelings might come back. You'll see. She clenched her fist, full of power. I'm going to make you say, I love you, to me one day. Isaac turned his head and sarcastically wished her good luck with that. That night, they slept on the same bed, with their backs against each other. Is it because I'm sharing a bed with a man? Or maybe it's because it's Isaac. Either way, just being next to him is making my heart pound. She turned her head around to see his back thinking, how did she end up hurting him so badly? The next day, Estella woke up to seeing Isaac sleeping soundly facing inward. He was sparkling in front of her, causing her to be speechless in awe. I only ever see him frown or look neutral when he looks at me, but look at him now. How could I give someone like this up? She questioned quietly to herself. So handsome. Seeing him frown, she reached her hand out to smooth out this frown, wondering what he's dreaming about. Suddenly, his eyes opened, stopping her movement. She retreated her hand and explained, you looked like you were having a nightmare. If you keep making that frowning face, you'll get wrinkles before you even get old. He smoothed his brows and asked, was he frowning that much? Yeah, you were having a nightmare. What kind of dream would make you toss and turn so much? Laying on his back, he glanced at her and suddenly sat up, thinking gloomily, what kind of dream do you think I was having? Being clueless, she asked, I'm just worried. Now I cannot be worried? The maidservants knocked on the door before entering. Water to wash your face, your highness, your grace. Should we come back later? Isaac replied, it's fine now. Staring at his reflection in the water basin, right? She has no idea that I ended up coming here in the middle of my wedding to Lily Bertrand. She doesn't know anything at all. I cannot ask someone like that. Why she simply watched as my parents died. The manservant helped Isaac dressed up while his thoughts continued. She just lived on with no idea of anything that happened. If I leave the Meshans, that will be the end of it. He stepped towards the door ruminating lots of things and slammed the door shut. We're supposed to go together. Gosh. Estella reached out to him to only see the shut door. She looked at the mirror and complained how he left just like that. Nana came in and announced Estella the good news. Countess agreed to meet with her. She opened the letter and read through it. Feeling relief, she told Nana she will send a response and could Nana bring her some paper? Estella walked down the stairs, all dressed up, and met her husband and children. Isaac asked if she is going out. Where? I'm just going to meet someone for a bit. She answered, though her inner voice said, I cannot exactly tell him that I am going to see the ex-scumbag husband and the amazing woman who forgave him. and asked them how they fixed their relationship. "Oh, all right," he answered. Estella assured, "Don't worry. I'm not going to meet another man." Isaac glared from the side and questioned why would he be worried, though his hand holding his daughter's tightened. "Papa?" Lucy called. Estella was dragged out the door and she seemed like she had more to say. She thought, "It's fine. She'll just meet the Chesses and come back home straight away." Estella arrived at the Rodonia salon. She used to come here a lot, 7 years ago. But now, she doesn't even know who owns it. Estella was greeted at the door by Madame de Lauren. "Oh, Your Highness. What brings you here today? It's been so long. Please take your time and enjoy. Did you come here to meet someone? Is she from Italy?" Her style and accent feel similar to the country next door's. Madame de Lauren whispered to Estella, "Your Highness, the people you met last time have requested to meet you again." "The people from last time?" she questioned. "Yes, and the men brought the jewels, as you requested." "Jewels?" she questioned cluelessly. Madame exclaimed, "Yes, jewels. Hue crimson rubies. They said they can make them into the rings or necklaces you so adore." Stunned speechless, she questioned, "Rings, like the rings my lover gave me." Appearing before her was an image of Isaac holding their children in his arms, ridiculing her. "I knew it. Everything you said about fixing your mistakes was a lie? Lucy, let's go." Estella pushed the madam away and shouted, I can't." Shocked, Madam asked, "What can't you?" Flustered, she asked, "Madam, they like me that much?" "Pardon?" Yes. You too, yes." Dead face, Estella could not believe it. She stopped Madam and told Madam to tell them she appreciates it, but she has to turn them down, jewels included. But Estella announced confidently, "From now on, I've decided to focus on one man only, and I'm going to do everything I can to make up for what I did to him." Do you think Isaac should forgive Estella? Isn't the past and future her the same person? Comment your thoughts below. There is no right or wrong answer, and please remain friendly. Once we hit 60 comments, we will release the next part. Let's explore the mystery together. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to help support this channel. See everyone at the next part.